Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 3X Value Podcast. This is Carrie Sauls. I'm your host, and I'm also a value growth advisor to middle market companies. I'm the author of the book, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. I'm coming to you from New Hampshire, and as always, I start with a piece of New Hampshire trivia. Today, I'd like to tell you about something in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The prototype submarine, the USS Albacore, was built at the Portland Navy Yard and commissioned in 1953. At the time, she was the fastest submarine ever designed. Now decommissioned, she's returned to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and is a tourist attraction. So that's my trivia about New Hampshire for today. For the podcast, I'm joined today by Jennifer Dawn. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. Where are you calling in from?
So I am in upstate New York, and we are getting hammered with snow right now in upstate New York.
We're getting that same storm, so thank you very much for sharing it with us. Well, because I know a little bit about you, I do want to share some information about you for our listeners to appreciate your value to them. Jennifer Dawn is the owner of Jennifer Dawn Coaching and founder of Best Planner Ever. She began her entrepreneurial career selling apples off her grandfather's tree because a lemonade stand was so yesterday. She's a serial entrepreneur who has grown 2 multi-million-dollar businesses and is a successful speaker and author. She helps motivated entrepreneurs master their goals, achieve a mindset for success, and create abundance in their business and lives. Welcome again, Jennifer. This is great.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, the topic we have for today's discussion is why it all comes down to mindset. And we're going to do that with 7 questions in 7 minutes. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Great. So your first question, who's your ideal client, Jennifer?
My ideal client are going to be business owners, really business owners from startup to multi-million-dollar companies. And I'm going to take that a little step further and say business owners who have some sort of a challenge or a problem or a goal that they've maybe been struggling with for like a year or more without success. And they're just like really ready to get some help so that they can kind of get to that next level.
And my second question, building on that, is what problem are you trying to solve for these business owners?
Well, the problem I'm trying to solve for them is helping them get to that next level, because if you've had a goal where you've been stuck on it for a year or more without success, and think about that for a second, because sometimes in business, we're like struggling and struggling and struggling year after year after year. And sometimes we've kind of lost track of how long it's actually been. So if there's something that they've been struggling with for a year or more, that's really the problem I want to help them solve, is get over that. But I want to help them get over it in a way that's fun. It's in alignment. It's not causing them a lot of stress. And they're actually like enjoying the process of meeting and achieving those goals.
So what are the typical symptoms of that problem that you see or that they're talking about?
Oh, that's a great question. So the symptoms that I typically see are going to be things like frustration, overwhelm, lots and lots of stress. And this is one that people don't like to own up to, but a lot of excuses are being made and justifications and reasons why. Well, I didn't achieve it because of this or that. And so all of these things are happening. And so even if we start to pay attention to the language that we're using when we're describing where we're at with our goals, and we start to listen to ourselves, when we talk about a symptom, if we start hearing ourselves talk about these things too, and we're hearing the frustration in our voice, and we're hearing these lots of excuses and stuff that are being made, and stress and overwhelm, I mean, those are huge ones. Like if you're waking up every day and it's just like, I can't believe I have to do this for another day. Or you're just feeling so frustrated, like I just don't know what to do. Or with overwhelm, I have no idea what my next step should be. So I'm just going to be as busy as I can and work every hour of the day that there is and just, grind away. Those would be some symptoms. So if you're seeing that, then definitely there's probably something there that you need to look at and go deeper into.
Those are some really specific flags for people. Therefore, my fourth question is, in trying to tackle this on their own, what are the most common mistakes that you see them trying or repeating?
Yeah. And so, Carrie, you just nailed it right there, trying to do it all alone. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that as entrepreneurs, for whatever reason, and I've been guilty of this as well, is we think, oh my gosh, I have to do this all by myself. I can't get help. And so we suffer in silence. We carry the world on our shoulders. We think by asking for help, it's somehow going to like show a weakness in ourselves because we think for some reason we're supposed to know everything. And we don't. Nobody ever does. There's always something else that you can learn unless you're dead. And I'm sure once you're dead, you're probably learning stuff too. But while we're here on this earth, there's always something else that you can learn. And so I would say that most common mistakes that I see are, suffering alone, suffering in silence, not asking for help. And then on the flip side of that, because we put all this junk on ourselves that we have to figure it out on our own and we can't ask for help. Now what happens is then we start just working longer and harder hours. And like, we're sacrificing our family time, we're sacrificing our health, and we're just grinding away, trying to solve the problem with hours and hard work instead of going deeper and really solving what the underlying issue is. And asking for help, right? Getting some help with it so that we can shorten that learning curve. And so those are the common mistakes that I see really being made. I'm going to add one more to that too, is distracting ourselves. Because we know we've got this problem and we can't solve it. So the other mistake I see is that we just will then distract ourselves from it. And so we find ourselves maybe cruising social media, right? And we just lose hours, but we're not having to deal with the problem. Or we're watching network, we're on Netflix for a Netflix marathon. We're binge watching all these things. And it's just a way to distract ourselves and check out because we are frustrated. We don't know how to solve the problem. We're not supported or surrounded by the right people to help us solve the problem. So those would be some of the mistakes that I'm seeing being made.
So it expands into time management and productivity as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my fifth question for you, Jennifer, is what's one valuable free action that our listeners can apply right now to help them solve the problem now?
Yeah, absolutely. So a valuable free action that I would recommend is lower the bar. Lower the bar. And of course, we want you to reach out and get help. There's so many qualified professionals out there that can help you. But one of the first things that you can do right now is lower the bar a little bit. So with goals and achieving goals, often business owners, we're overachievers. And so we want to go further, faster, and do more and be bigger and grow and expand. And sometimes the reality of that, it just doesn't fall out the right way, or if we've not prepared correctly, or if we have a lot of foundational problems in our businesses. I mean, think about it right now. Any problems that you have in your business right now, if you grow and scale, you're growing and scaling those problems. And so because we haven't identified some of those problems and actually fixed them, as we grow and scale, we're just creating more problems. And so this is why I say lower the bar a little bit, back off, back down a little bit, start to look at the areas of your business that you know in your heart need attention, and pay attention to those things and get them fixed. And so that way you can position yourself to scale and grow and do it in a way, as I mentioned before, it's more fun, less stressful, a lot easier if we can just lower that bar a little bit and kind of reassess and take a hard look at the things we need to look at and fix first.
You make it sound so simple. So number 6, Jennifer, what's a valuable free resource that you can direct our listeners to that will help them further in solving this problem?
Absolutely. So hop on my website, go to jenniferdoncoaching.com, and right on the homepage is an opt-in, which are 3 goal secrets. So 3 ways that you can implement right away to achieve your goals every single time without fail. And it's even stuff that we haven't talked about today. So you'll be like, oh, spoiler alert. No, it's 3 actual new secrets we didn't talk about today that you can use right away, completely and totally free. And when you opt into my website, I want to just say you're not going to get blasted with emails or anything terrible. We don't do anything underhanded. We really just try to help and serve all the entrepreneurs that I and my team work with. And there you go. So you can go to Jennifer Don Coaching and grab that free resource right now today.
And my last question is really to turn the tables and to say, what's one question I should have asked you and I didn't? What would be that question? And the answer, please.
Ooh, that's a great question. I love it. So that question would be around what's another free thing that you could do that would have the biggest impact on your success that you could do right now? It doesn't cost anything. And the answer to that question is your mindset. You have to train your mindset. And when you think about like an Olympic athlete, right? They're training for the Olympics and they're training every day and they're looking at every element of their health, their wellness, their exercise, like everything, right? Our mindset is no different. So as business owners, we literally have to train our mindsets the same way an Olympic athlete is going to train for the gold. And the problem is we often don't do that. Instead, we're busy, we're overwhelmed, we're doing too many things, and so we don't invest the time in our own mindset. And so that would be the one thing, like take a close look at what are you doing to train your mind and feed your mindset. Are you feeding it a lot of junk, social media, TV, drama, you're hanging out with toxic people, you're in all these, conversations that don't serve you, like what are you watching? Like these kinds of things, like really look at what you're feeding your mindset. Or, every day, are you feeding your mindset with, meditation, visualization, affirmations? Do you have a clear picture of what you want your life to look like? Do you watch things that are inspirational, motivational, these sort of things? So that would be the one question. If you'd have asked me, I would have said, make an effort. Set an intention every day to get your mindset in the right place, feed it the right stuff, train it the way an Olympic athlete trains for the goal. And that's probably the biggest and most important thing that will help you achieve the kind of success that you're after to meet your goals easier, faster, is if you're in the right mindset to do it.
Thank you so much. This was such a rich interview. Thank you, Jennifer Dawn, for joining me here on the 3X Value Growth Podcast.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.